How's it going, guys, and welcome back for part 2 of the build process for this machine nest. We're going to be working on the floor today and a couple of small details on the side. So starting out, just cutting out space to place the anchor for my small grid rotor. And then I started laying out where the blocks needed to go for the floor. I used a red block to mark where the attachment point was for the rotor, so I didn't accidentally delete it and disconnect my entire system. I replaced a few of these large blocks with the sides of passageways because I like the texture. I outlined the individual pads with blast doors in order to help distinguish them from the rest of the floor. Using a darker color blast door helped to give it a little pop. I didn't like how you could see the ground in between the blast doors, so I got my spectator camera and went underneath to close it up. Next, it was time to paint. I ended up settling with a gray color to make the pads stand out better. It was time to start adding some caution stripes. This is one of my favorite things to add to these kinds of builds because I think it's really catchy on the eye and just fun detail overall. I decided that 4 wasn't enough, so I added 2 more on the front. Next, all that was left for the floor was to just add a small hint of slightly darker gray to the pads in a square shape, just to kind of attack the flat space there, make it more interesting. After that, I called the floor good and started working on the small details, beginning with this low profile rail that I could use as an anchor point to build other small grid details off of. After that was done, I started work on a little claw arm that sticks out of the wall and just opens and closes for some fun animation. It took quite a while to come up with a design for the claw that I actually liked, but in the end we got it to work, and then we just copied it to each of the 4 sides. I made sure that the hinges worked properly, all in unison, and spun around as I had hoped. A little bit of paint on this one and called it good. The next thing to work on is a scaffolding tower with a high passageway at the top of it. Once I had one section of the tower made, I just made a copy and pasted it on as many times as I needed to get it to be the right height. For the walkway, I used half blocks on the walls and made sure that my engineer could fit up there and walk freely. And next it was time to add an entrance point so that my engineer could climb up a ladder to get onto that walkway. It just so happened that the ladder was the perfect height where I placed it at the top. This support on the left was a little too thick, so I made it out of half blocks instead so that my engineer could climb up easier. All that was left to do at the end was to cap off the tower. And then we got to enjoy our newly built machine nest. Hoping to use this as the background for some future screenshots. And that's the end of this video, guys. I want to thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one.